Good morning, hustlers. I'm Mark Martin, and this is a special morning edition of Iron Hustle. I'm going to show you my personal breakfast routine so that you too can be full of iron and testosterone and just be the biggest, strongest, smartest guy you can be, because a lot of people don't consider that actually iron goes a lot into making your brain hard, because the harder your brain is, the stronger it gets, because of the way the ridges are, and it like when you make it hard, it's like it's angular, like kind of like how a tank is. When you hit a tank with something, you hit it straight on, it doesn't quite pierce because it's like angular. So you want your brain to be angular is what I'm getting at. So I'm going to teach you what I make for breakfast very often, and it's something that I call man cereal. So you know how you have a lot of people, they'll go out and they'll make their breakfast, and their breakfast they'll have like they'll have a bowl of Fruity Pebbles with milk, or they'll have the honey bunches of oats, and they'll have like their soy or their almond or their oat milk or whatever. So, really that's like, you don't want to do that, because that's, the whole fruity thing, it's very feminine, it's very fucking girly to have the fruity cereals or whatever. It's full of sugar, it's not good for you. So what I've come up with instead is something that I like to call man cereal. So what you do is, instead of having all that fruity bullshit, or then milks or whatever kind of milks you have, you get chicken stock, meat, protein in it, because it's meat, it's bones, it's manly stuff, So you don't have any milk, right? And then the next thing you do is you get ground beef, right? Because that's, beef, it's full of iron, it's good for you, it's, it gets that crumbly sort of texture that you expect from cereal when you cook it. And then just for a little bit of added fun and variation in texture, we use all beef ballpark franks, because you need to just get as much meat and protein in your body as possible. It's good for your brains, it's good for your body. Cavemen, those big hairy dudes, the big strong ones, they just ate meat all the time. They didn't eat nary leaf or berry or anything like that. They were just always eating. They were always eating like mammoths and stuff, like big animals. So a cow is the biggest animal that I immediately can get my hands on. So I make sure I eat as much beef as possible, man. It's all about the beef. So what I like to do here first, just to start, is we're gonna crack open our Wagyu beef here. And you might need a tool to open this up. I have with me my favorite knife right here, and I use this for everything that I need to use a knife for in my life. I cut open packages, I cut meat, I cut anything, because this thing is so cool. Look at how cool this knife is, man. This is the coolest knife I've ever seen in my life. And I get people all the time, they're like, Mark, that is not for cooking. Mark, that's like decorative. That's not like, you can't be using it for everything in your life. It's whatever. I don't care. I sharpen this thing. It's made out of Damascus steel. It doesn't lose its edge. It looks sick. I feel sick. I'm cutting everything with it. I might do a knife review video eventually. I love knives. I have knives. I have a bunch of them. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna cut this thing open, right? We're gonna. Oh, that needs more. That's not done cooking yet. We gotta really get in there with it. There we go. So now that this is open, you're gonna make sure that you dump your whole thing into a nice bowl here, like so. You can just kind of squeeze your package here a little bit, and then dump it all out. Yeah, there you go. See, everything comes out. You want to make sure you get all the blood too. There's a lot of iron in blood. At least my doctor said that there's a lot of iron in my blood. I think you're supposed to have a lot of iron in your blood, though. That's definitely good for you to have like a lot of iron in your blood. So we have our ground beef in our bowl, and then the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna take our ballpark franks, These ballpark franks are personally, they're my favorite. They're the best. It doesn't get any better than a fucking ballpark frank, man. So we're gonna slice that open, and you know, we want a couple weenies in there, man. We want a couple weenies. We don't want too many. I typically like to make enough that I have left over so I can eat it for a couple days. So I think I'm going to do. We'll do four. We'll do 4 weenies. That's 2 today, 2 tomorrow, and then you know that's plenty of meat. So you're gonna grab these bastards all up, make sure you got them good, and you're gonna just cut nice little ballpark frank medallions with them. You know, you want to make it just like when you were a kid and your mom would make you like mac and cheese and hot dogs. You know what I mean? You want to cut it up like that. God, the mac and cheese and hot dogs thing is so good. You know, it's like it was good for you, especially if you use all beef hot dogs. You know, take me back to when I was a kid, man. You know, take me back to the mac and cheese and hot dogs. I can't eat mac and cheese anymore because it doesn't even have any protein in it. I said protein. That's embarrassing. Whatever. So you're not really supposed to eat mac and cheese. So anyway, you're gonna take all your hot dog bits here, and you're gonna put them in your bowl. Right. So now we got all of our beef, we got all of our hot dog bits in our bowl. So what are we gonna do next? We're gonna start seasoning it. We gotta make sure, because just because it's healthy, just because it's good for you, doesn't mean it has to not also taste good. So I'm gonna grab a couple go-tos here. We're gonna get garlic powder, right? That's what this is. Yeah, we got some garlic powder is gonna go in there. We're gonna do some onion powder too, because the base, I don't know if you guys know this, but the base for anything delicious is garlic powder and onion powder, and also I'm pretty sure there's just like good stuff for you in there. I read that once somewhere. And you're gonna go, of course, you need salt. I use pink Himalayan salt because the pink actually comes from iron in the salt. So there's more iron in it. It's better for you because there's more iron in it. Because iron, I don't know if you guys know this, but iron gets like red sort of. So when it gets mixed in with white salt, it becomes pink. So it's not girly. It's not like a feminine thing that I like the pink one. It's that it's got more iron in it, it makes me more man. And then a little bit, this might be spicy for some of you guys, but smoked paprika rules. I'm gonna put smoked paprika in it, but not a lot, because if it's too spicy, I'll barf. I do not do food challenges well, man, especially if they're spicy. I'll throw up if it's spicy. It's terrifying. It's like a water fountain. I just Anyway, the last thing that I'm gonna add in there is I actually have, this is a really important one. This is a really big one. I know I've talked about this before, but I figured I'd show you guys. I keep a personal little jar of iron shavings so that I can put it in everything that I cook, because obviously, like I've been saying, the more iron the better. So I have my little iron shavings, and I'm gonna make sure I just get a little bit of them in there. So now I got my iron shavings in there. Now this is the fun part. If you like getting your hands dirty, if you like squishing around and stuff, you're gonna get in there. You're gonna mix everything up. So we're gonna put our grubby little mitts in here, and we're gonna make sure that this all gets mixed and mashed, and all the good stuff is all mixed up inside of there, because it's got to be incorporated well, because I swear if I take a bite and the bite is like all paprika, I'll barf, because I can't, like any heat, like any spice is almost too much for me. It's just that paprika tastes like really good, so I put a little bit of it in there because it tastes like really good. So we're gonna mix. Yeah, this feels pretty good, I think. Let me that looks like I won't barf, I think. Alright, so that's it for phase 1. now that we have all this incorporated, we can move on to the next part, which is cooking. Okay guys, so we're cooking. So the first thing we're gonna do before we even start anything here, obviously we're gonna turn the burner on. We're gonna take this olive oil here, and you're gonna get a good amount of oil in there. Olive oil is really good for you because it's made of olives, and olives are obviously really good for you. So we're gonna sit for a minute, and we're gonna wait until this starts sizzling. Okay, fellow hustlers, it's time to start actually cooking. So we got our big bowl of meat. We got a nice pan here full of hot oil, ready for some meat to just splash down on it. So let's just dump this all right in here. Nice. That's what you want to hear. You always want to hear it sizzle, man. It's an indication of good meat. The sizzle, it fucking rules, man. Alright, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna take spatula with holes in it, because that's an important piece of the puzzle here, and I won't tell you why. It's my own personal secret. And then we're gonna turn this fan on, because this is getting smoky. Smell the way it smells in here, man. Smells like meat, smells like smoke, smells like good cooking, bro. It smells like good cooking. Okay, hustlers, so we're on to the next portion of our cookery. So the first thing that I'm gonna do is, in this pot, I'm gonna add a little bit of this cooking additive called beef towel. It's beef, it's cow stuff, so it's like full of, it's full of all that good stuff that I like to put in, like the iron and stuff. That's way smokier than I anticipated, but, that's alright, because it's, we do everything here for beef towel. It's, whatever, it just helps. It just makes everything taste better. It makes it, makes it more good. So for our next trick, we have this guy right here. I drained all the meat grease out of it because too much meat grease will kill you. It's not good for you. So I will now apply the greaseless meat to our pot with beef towel in it. Supposed to sizzle a lot. That's good for it. That means it's working. When it sizzles a lot, it means you're winning. You don't ever want to let the meat win. You have to win by making sure it sizzles and it gets hot and angry in there. So now that everything is thoroughly in there and good and mixed around a little bit, what we're going to do is add our chicken stock. This is going to be the milk for our man cereal. Just want to make sure you put enough in that everybody in there gets completely and fully submerged. So we're gonna let that bad boy rest for a little bit. We're gonna let it heat up, we're gonna let it come to a boil, and then we're gonna serve our man cereal. So there you have it, dudes and bros. That's how you make a delicious bowl of man cereal. But you ask yourself now, how does it taste? It's a little hot. But that's delicious. It's delicious. It's nutritious. There's nothing wrong. You know what? The only thing wrong with this is that it needs a little more iron. And that's perfect, baby. So, you see, when there's something that is so easy to make like this in life, I don't want to see anybody eating none of this crap. Don't go out and get a Quest bar or anything like that, man. You could make your own protein power breakfast. So easy, so quick. I think everybody should be doing it. As an update to you guys, I did meet a guy who says that he knows how to get me elephant meat. So, hopefully elephant meat video soon. Hopefully that comes soon. I'm working with a guy. He says he can get it for me. But other than that, that's all. So, you know, like, subscribe, stay strong, keep hustling, keep eating your iron.